Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Juan de la Torre. Juan de la Torre is an immigration attorney. He's here to speak to our class today. As you can tell, he is a wealth of information. So we're going to take the next 20 minutes. I surprised you with this opportunity for a guest speaker as well, so that you hear it from me, but you don't need to just be educated by Dr. Pons entirely, right? We need to make sure that other people and other points of views come in, and practicing attorneys that are in the trenches every single day relay information, and that you guys get to ask him the tough questions and find out, what is it really like? Do you make a lot of money? Is this something I want to get into? How much school did you go to? Is it worth it? All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Juan de la Torre.
Hello, everybody. First and foremost, go Knights. I am the class of 2002. I'm most of the class of 2009, where I also earned my master's in public administration. In between those two things, I attended law school right down the street at Fort A&M College of Law, where I earned my law degree in 2008. So I had probably the longest running master's, because I actually took a leave of absence from my master's program to go to law school, and then finished my master's degree after law school. My advice to you, in short, is that if you plan to go to law school, skip grad school. You really don't need that degree. Go straight to law school, do the JD. That'll be the only postgraduate degree that you really need. By a show of hands, how many people here are first generation American? Okay, that's a few. How many people are second generation American? Okay, by a show of hands, how many of you actually need to go to Ancestry.com and figure this out?
I can't even do that.
Pretty much all of them. So, most of us have all, at some point, been the children of immigration, and that's how most of us got to the Americas. As we know, the Western Hemisphere was not a settled place, and at some point, somebody in your family immigrated. It might have been in the 1600s, or the 1400s, or the 1500s, or it could have been in the last 10, 20, 50 years, or maybe, 10 years ago. The point is, at some point, we all immigrated to the United States. So the concept of immigration law is very important right now. Actually, you see it in the news every day. And you see mostly what's talking about removal proceedings and deportations and asylums, right? Asylums is a really hot topic. I hope your class gets to go out there to Texas and see what's going on the border, particularly I think the areas of Laredo. Those are some of the areas that are really intense right now. In the California side, there's a lot of intense stuff going on in San Diego and the Los Angeles area. So that's going to be a great trip. Visiting immigration court will get you to see what a daily routine is like. Individual hearings, I don't think you'll be attending an individual hearing, because individual hearings are essentially trials in immigration court, and those are not open to the public. Usually those are closed hearings. You would have to get the approval of both parties involved in the case, that being the government and the respondent, which is the title that's referred to in immigration court. The government is the prosecuting entity, and the respondent is the person that's responding to the allegations. So you're probably going to attend what's called a master calendar hearing, which is like if you've been to criminal court or if you've been to state court. They're status hearings. They're basically pretrial conferences, and like most pretrial conferences and status hearings, there's a slew of attorneys in the room, a slew of clients in the room, so you're going to see a lot of people. The last hearing I went to, as I said before, had a lot of people there. It was really hot because there were so many people there. The more people you pack into a room, the hotter it gets. I've been practicing 10 years in immigration law, and I can tell you at the time, I know that immigration is a hot topic, because at the time that I went to UCF, this was not a class that was offered at UCF. Even at my law school, when I went to law school, it was a general immigration class. Now they're offering specific immigration classes on the topics of such as asylum or more specific topics. I practice mainly in the area of business immigration, which I'll talk about briefly, and your professor has told me that you've already discussed in the first, second, third, and fourth preference. But I'll start off by just generally throwing immigration in a practical matter into 3 buckets. And what are those 3 buckets? Basically, you got family-based immigration, which is your spousal petitions, immigrating to the United States based upon some family tie that you have to the United States, whether it be husband, wife, parent-child, or even sibling relationships. That That is important because in the news, what you've heard is potentially some discussion about what's called chain immigration. So chain immigration is basically when one person, due to say a spousal relationship, becomes a legal permanent resident, which you guys should know by now, I guess in this part of the class, that's when you get the green card. And they get the green card, and then 3 years from that, or 5 years, depending if you obtained it by marriage or if you obtained it by some other means, you get to become eligible to become a citizen. And then that person in turn turns around and starts asking for abuela and abuelo in Latin America, or Papa